Have you always wanted to learn how to be a spy master? Well, you came to the right place because tonight I'll be teaching you how to play Codenames. So stick around. Now, Codenames is a game where the spy masters will be giving out clues in the attempts to have their field operatives meet up with their agents. The hints that they give will correspond to different codenames out on the board. Now let's see how to set up the board. First, you'll set up a 5x5 grid of these codenames. Now these codenames are double-sided, so you can flip them over to change up the board. You want them to be rather varied when it's set up. Now that the grid has been set up, you'll need to split everyone into two separate teams. Now try and split them as evenly as possible, and you'll need at least 4 players in order to play this game. Once the teams have been separated, you'll choose one person from each team to be the spy master. The spy masters will sit at one end of the table, with their field operatives sitting across from them. Now that teams have been chosen and spy masters picked, you'll need to separate the agent tiles into their respective piles. You'll have 8 blue agents, 8 red agents, 1 double agent, 1 assassin, and 7 bystanders. Separate them out into their respective piles and place them over at the edge of the table by the spy masters. Next, you'll need to pick out a key for the game. Now you can pick out any key and place it in any orientation that you want. Now this key represents the 5x5 grid out there. It tells you which codenames belong to the blue team, belong to the red team, which one's the assassin, and which one are the innocent bystanders. Now, the colored light on all 4 sides of the key determines which team will go first. Now, the team that goes first will have to guess 9 codenames, whereas the team that goes second will only have to guess 8. Now that the board is set up and the key chosen, with teams separated and spy masters picked, you can now begin. Now, only the spy masters know who all 25 agents are out on the field. Now, each spy master will take turns giving one-word clues to their field operatives. Their field operatives will then guess which words they think the hint was referring to. Once a field operative touches one of the codenames, the spy master will reveal which team that agent belongs to. Now, if it is one of their team's agents, then the field operatives can continue to guess. If it is not, play will pass to the next team. The game will continue until one team makes contact with all of their agents or finds the assassin. In order to give a clue to your field operatives, you'll give them 1 word and 1 number. Now, the word is related to 1 or more codenames out on the grid, and the number tells your field operatives how many codenames that word is related to. So you can say something like cashews 3. That means 3 of the codenames out on the board are related to cashews. Now, a couple things to keep in mind when giving a clue. Now, the clue must be 1 word. You cannot give anything extra when giving the clue, so you cannot say things like, "This is a bit of a stretch." And finally, you cannot use any of the words out in the grid. So if horse was one of the codenames out on the grid, you could not say horseshoe as your clue. Now, once the clue has been given, the field operatives can discuss and debate about which codenames the spy master was referring to. Now, during this process, the spy master should keep a straight face as to not give anything else away. Now, once the field operatives have come to a consensus, they make their official guess by touching one of the codenames. The spy master will then reveal which agent that codename belongs to. If it is one of their agents, they'll place that colored agent on that codename, and those field operatives can continue to guess. If it is one of the opponent's agents, they'll place one of their agent colors on it, and play will then pass on to the other team. Now, this is never a good scenario as it helps out the other team. Now, if it is an innocent bystander, you'll place one of those agent tiles on that codename, and play will then still pass to the other team, but you haven't helped them out. Now, finally, if the codename belongs to the assassin, the spy master will place that assassin tile on that codename, and the game will end. That team now just lost. So, keep in mind, whenever you give your clue, always make sure that it doesn't relate to the assassin. Now, the field operatives have a number of guesses equal to the number that the spy master gave. So when the spy master said cashews 2, the field operatives have 2 guesses plus 1 additional guess. Now, field operatives must always make at least 1 guess. Now, if this guess turns out to be one of your own agents, then the field operatives can continue to guess. If it is not one of your own agents, play will pass to the other team. Now, field operatives can stop guessing at any time. However, it's usually a good idea to try and guess as many code names as the spy master gave you hints for. Now, after you've found all of the code names that the spy master was giving hints for, you can make 1 additional guess. Now, you can use this guess to try and figure out a clue which you missed previously, or take a shot in the dark. However, this is rarely a good idea, as you never know which code names relate to the opposing agents or which one belongs to the assassin. Now, play will continue going back and forth with each spy master giving clues to their field operatives. Now, once one team has found all of their code names, that team wins and the game is over. It is possible to win on an opposing team's turn if that team happens to choose your last agent in the field. Now, if a spy master gives an invalid clue, according to the rulebook, that team's turn ends immediately, and for further punishment, the opposing team can cover up one of their own words with one of their own agent tiles. Now, if no one notices that that clue is invalid, then that clue is valid and you can continue to play. Now, spy masters, when giving a clue, try not to give anything away, either non-verbally or verbally. So it should be 1 word. As your players are discussing which words it could be, try not to reach for any agent tiles, and when they finally select something, try and consult the key before and then take the appropriate agent tile and cover up that word. This will help you pull back some of the tendencies to reach out before they've actually touched any of the words out on the grid. Also, if they select a word that you were not intending for them to select with the clue that you gave, try not to give anything away with any of the words that you say or any of your nonverbal cues. Finally, the timer is there in case one team or player is taking an extended amount of time. You can flip the timer and ask them to make a decision before the time runs out. This is a good way to kind of keep things moving if things are starting to drag out a little bit. It can also add a little bit of pressure and excitement as you've got to try and find the best clue in a certain amount of time. Now, if you're having trouble figuring out what counts as a valid clue, you can consult the rulebook. They have a lot of varieties and clarifications as what constitutes as a valid clue. So go ahead and take a look. They have anything from compound words to acronyms, rhymes, and homonyms, as well as proper names. They also clarify firm rules that you should follow, as well as spelling of words. So go ahead and take a look at the rulebook for clarifications or different variations that you may want to play with your own group. Now, the rulebook also gives the expert clue of 0 and unlimited. Now, you can say things like feather 0, which means none of your codenames relate to feather. Now, this eliminates the number of guesses that your field operatives have, so they can guess as many as they want, but they still must guess at least 1. Now, you may want to use unlimited if you have multiple clues from previous rounds that were unguessed. So you can say something like feather unlimited, which completely removes the number of guess restrictions on the field operatives. They can guess as many words as they want, they still must guess at least 1. Now, there is a disadvantage to saying unlimited, as the field operatives don't know how many codenames are related to the new clue that you just gave. However, the benefit is they can make as many guesses as they want. Finally, on the back page of the rulebook, you can find a 2-player and 3-player game variant and the rules on how to set up and play those. You now know how to play Codenames. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from it. If you did, then please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell, because we'll be releasing a lot more videos like this one, as well as our playthroughs and reviews. Also, if you would like to buy this game, you can find a link down in the description below. We would also love to hear from you, so question of the day, what is your favorite spy movie? Let us know in the comment section below, as well as if there's any particular game you would like us to play or review. Also, if you would like to watch another video from Conquering Boredom, you could click the link right there. And once we have our playthrough up, you can find a link right up there. As always, remember, until next time, good luck conquering.